Hey everyone, so today I'll be doing the same exercise that I did yesterday, which is essentially doing these small paintings. You can look at the camera, you can kind of judge the size of how small these paintings are going to be. They're going to be in black and white, and I'm going to try and finish in 45 minutes. I'm not timing myself. Ideally you would, but I don't feel at that stage where I'm comfortable enough to time myself. And the idea behind this exercise is just to focus on painting, values, big strokes, just the essential big statement versus the detail. I'm going to talk about my process. I'm going to talk about, what I'm thinking, and hopefully this video can help you guys implement this exercise and maybe get an idea or two. And just to give you guys some context, I'm a art student / artist. I studied mostly through the Watts online program. I spent about 6 months in their brick and mortar school. I consider myself to be not talented as an artist, but someone who just requires a lot of grinding to get the concepts in his head. So without further ado, let's go. I've got this beautiful reference. The reason I picked this reference is specifically because she has a shaved head. So I really have to get that egg effect working, because sometimes with hair, particularly when it comes to the skull areas, you can maybe get away with with not getting that egg effect to read through 100% in that area. So this is going to be challenging for me and good to learn, and hopefully good for all of us to learn. So I'm going to start with the basic shape of the head. Start with a circle. And then I'll go ahead and pull the face. And again, with an exercise like this, you're not really looking for exact, you're not looking for likeness. If you can achieve it, great. But given the time constraint and given my level, it's not something that I want to focus on. Otherwise, the whole 45 minutes are going to be spent trying to get a likeness, right? Because likeness just requires a lot of measurement, a lot of patience, a lot of exactness. So right here, I just put some mineral spirits in this cotton swab and using that to remove that line that's incorrect. I don't want it to confuse me later. Pull the jawline. I think I made it a little too steep of an angle. Let's see the back of the jaw. Could be pulled back a little bit more, I think. And then I'm gonna say that the hairline is somewhere here, which brings the brow line to be somewhere here. Nose line. And then chin. Could go higher with the hairline and then maybe pull this to be a bit bigger, being careful not to go into the next painting, not to lose the painting there. Got the back of the neck. If I measure from this distance here, that shape looks something like that. Seems about right. Shape-wise, the ear seems to be somewhere here. She's got this beautiful twist on her neck, so I'm gonna keep note of that. Let's see, if this is the eye line, then judging the angle from the brow to the top of the ear, something like that. Okay, it looks off. I mean, if I go by that judgment, the ear looks too big. So, I'm gonna fudge things a little bit. I think I'm gonna go ahead and use this, and then use this measurement here and then lift the ear from the bottom here, just because I want to push that tilt of the head, right? And also achieving, two birds, one stone, making the ear smaller and then pushing that tilt of the head. Go ahead and find that center line. Okay. Find that shape of the brow to nose connection. Nose is protruding out, going beyond the line, I think, and then connecting like so. I've got the eye socket going in, going straight down, and then the cheek with a smooth line connecting to the rhythm of the mandible. I'm gonna correct the chin over here. See how I had it going the opposite direction. The center line is actually messing with me. I think it's weird because it feels like it's more like so, the opposite direction that I have it. Because the tilt is going in this direction, right? So the center line has to be perpendicular to that tilt. So I think this is more correct. And it's kind of messing with me. I don't know why. Maybe there's an optical illusion or something happening there. Let me connect brow to brow with a rhythm. And then maybe connect this part of the brow to this brow with a rhythm. Pick up some paint. Fill it out. Let's see, now I'm gonna squint really and just look for the big shapes. We've got, yikes. Sorry, just stuck my hand in this painting over here. Thankfully I'm wearing gloves, but I messed up that painting a little bit. I mean, wasn't the greatest looking painting anyways, but you know, I like to preserve my work so that I can critique it for myself later. Got the line over there representing the switch from the front plane to the side plane, going like so. And then we have the bottom of the cheek transitioning to the rhythm of, I like how balanced it looks. This is kind of hard to get this side to look balanced with that side just from shape. Maybe I got lucky this time, but usually I have to fudge things around and connect things together in order to make it feel balanced, especially if I'm not, you know, kind of intuitively trying to measure things and intuitively trying to place things without using, you know, calipers or whatever it is that some people use to achieve likeness. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's totally valid. I'm just saying, you know, when you're using more your intuition, you're gonna have to fudge things around and design and, you know, just use another toolkit to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. Okay, so definitely now there's something wrong with the neck. So I'm gonna pull it here. I love that rhythm that she has. So I think, I mean, okay, so there's a lot of twisting and turning that's happening. So she's got a rhythm that's going like so from the neck. Correct that. So it pulls like so, it goes like so, and then it kind of goes to the shoulder. Maybe even closer, I would say, something like that, right? Just as a rhythm. And then you've got another rhythm just pulling like so to the shoulder. I think I'm gonna make this clearer that you have a line that represents that connection of the neck and the back, and then you have that. So I'm just gonna stress that a little bit. Since it got messy, I'm just gonna add some paint and stress that a little bit with making it darker, right? That doesn't work either. Think maybe go from here to here. That would be a better option, right? And then from here, just go to the shoulder, get giving her something really elegant. Here again, get it here. Yep. I wanted to pull it straight there, but then it didn't give me the feminine look that I wanted. I'm gonna connect these rhythms like so. Okay, let me pull some paint. I'm making a lot of mistakes here, so bear with me, guys. So I'm gonna pull the rhythm from here all the way here, just to balance things out. It looks balanced in the reference, right? And I'd rather have things balanced than, you know, look off, obviously. Pull this line all the way outside. Beautiful. And now I'm gonna use the cotton swab to just get rid of the lines that I don't want, or at the very least, temper them a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think I can start painting with the information that I have here. Should be enough, right? Let me just make sure I have the big shape of the darks. The reference, the darks aren't very prominent. I'm gonna exaggerate them for this particular drawing, make it a lot more prominent, and maybe I'm gonna have to design that just to follow the spine over here. And yeah, okay, there goes that. And then I have the delineation of where the hair kind of rolls like that, right? So that's gonna have to be a soft transition. There's gonna be a lot, like all of this is gonna have to be soft. Here, 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 because it's you know, she's very, very feminine in her features. She's really beautiful, actually. I love this reference. So I'll go ahead and start to paint in what I would, you know, suggest as the black or the dark versus the light, right? So let's go ahead with that. Let's solve the nodes. Solve the nodes. Solve the nodes. So what's the nodes? I know where the darks are compared to the light. I'm gonna lighten it up just a teeny bit. And I want to go full black. Maybe I can use black later to emphasize the areas around the neck, to emphasize the twist that's happening, the creases on the neck. Maybe I won't, you know, it depends on how the picture goes. So, go ahead. This looks too dark to me. So, add quite a bit of white to my mixture. And let's see if this coats well. It looks the same. Whatever. It's good enough. Slightly lighter. Go ahead and just darken this whole thing. I think her neck will be somewhere here. Who's calling me right now? All right, I can pick that up later. It's not an important call. Painting is more important. Just put that on silent. Sorry, buddy. Don't call an artist when he's painting. It's like the most aggravating thing is how technology nowadays just interrupts us from flow constantly, in a way that it's actually quite aggravating, you know? Like, for me personally, if I'm working deeply on something, it doesn't even have to be that deep, but you know that state when you just start to flow with something and then all of a sudden you get a notification or you get a phone call. It's like not conducive to the mindset of a painter, not for me personally, not conducive to being happy. Now I know some people kind of thrive on that chaos, thrive on the ADD nature of things, but not me. I like things being more quiet, more settled. All right. So we went ahead and did that. I am going to let's see. I don't want to lose this area here by just painting white, you know, or painting a light value all over here. I still want to have some sort of indication for the eyes so that I can find it later. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Just quickly do an indication of brow, maybe connect it here, brow, right, and then do an indication for the eye. Let's see. This model's gorgeous, gotta say. You wouldn't think that someone, you know, let me put it this way, it's kind of difficult for a female to pull off no hair and pull it off in style. So wherever this lady is, good job. You have the look. You have this badass look that is working to your advantage, so keep it up. All right. Not a fan of this indication, but it gives me something, right? And then I'll go ahead and let's see. Yeah, go for the value of the lights in the skin. I just put in some mineral spirits with a paint. I didn't mean to do that, just kind of did it, but hopefully it doesn't mess things up too much. It's like, why would I paint the indication of the eye and then paint over it with this? Because I can see some of it through, and it can come through, and it can help guide me with the drawing. You know, I don't feel 100% confident in my drawing to where I can, you know, just rely on thinking like a painter to get my drawing, if that makes sense. Because when you paint, you're just not thinking in a linear way as much, which I've been told helps the way you think about drawing. I guess I'll see whether that is the case once I get back into it, once I get back into drawing again. But for now, the primary focus is just to paint. All right, so let's go ahead and put in some transition tiles. We have, you know what, before I put in the transition tiles, actually, let me get the features back in. I get the lips, the eyes, all that good stuff. And then I'll worry about eyebrow. Do this little indication for the eye. Man, I love the art of indicating. I really, really do. I don't think I'm good at it. I'm so, I'm one of those that's just so tied to the reference, and I really need to practice drawing from imagination. I don't practice that at all, which means I suck at it, right? So I am planning to, at some point, do the class with Peter Hunt, dynamic sketching. I mean, that seems like a fun class to do. It seems challenging and intensive, and just has a thing that I want to, it just has a lot that I want to learn, right? I'll go ahead and get this shape over here of the side plane of the nose. Boom, boom, boom. And then just an indication that the nose is coming like so. I don't know if this nose reads really nice, but yeesh. It's a rough one, huh? Go ahead and do the other one, the other eye, just a quick indication. I think I'm gonna give a quick indication to the other side of the nose, just like so. Got the lip. Again, drawing in paint is so freaking difficult, you know? Got her giving a kind of a grin. She's smiling in the reference, but grinning in my, that is not good. I don't like that at all. Let me get rid of that. That is a ugly looking lip. Maybe not, I don't know. Yeah, it's just not, it needs to follow the axis lines that I have there. So, it's gonna be something like, I'm just gonna start with a straight line, just to make sure that I have the axis. And then I'll go ahead and redesign it so that it's more like a lip. Look at that distance. It's incorrect, which means I'm gonna have to set this up here, right? And then I'm gonna have to lift all of this up. Right? So let's go ahead and fix that. I believe I made the same mistake in the previous painting where the chin was just too high, too low. And then I'll go ahead and actually do a much lighter value just to separate this. Clumsy brush in such a tight space. Not what I want, right? Go ahead and add the value there. Okay, I like this value. Let me add it as a transitional tile in some areas. Maybe darker even. So I've got the transition here of the redness of the cheek. Another thing that I love to paint in women is just make those cheeks super red. Kind of mimicking the blush makeup that they use. It's meant to indicate that blood is going there because she's blushing, which is a really attractive look. Eesh, this one's rough, man. This is a rough one. You know, sometimes you get them really good, sometimes you don't. And sometimes you're on a streak of not getting them really good. You know, it just happens. Let's see, I'm gonna add a couple of lines to indicate the ear. I don't want it completely lost. Maybe look at how that gets absorbed. let me first of all indicate the ear kind of jutting out just a tiny amount here, right? So it actually looks like it's jutting out. And then maybe I'll go a lot lighter with a paint stroke that I'm gonna pull out of my palette, just because I know it's gonna mix here and go a lot darker. So let's see what that looks like. So that's too light. I'm just let's see, I'm just squinting and looking for the shapes. So this one's, I don't like that. If I mix that, that looks a lot better. And then maybe I'm gonna use the black again to carve out the shape that I want. I think that's better, right? Got that very subtle indication for the ear. And then let's see. There are any other subtle indications that I might want to add. I mean, see, this area is lighter than this area because of the reflected light. I think that's coming through. So let's go ahead and indicate that. Maybe something like so, like this shape here. That's way too light. Way too light. Add some dark. Oh. No, just making sure. Okay. Oh, it looks like she's, I don't know. It's way too light here. I'm gonna have to blend this. And yeah, and see, this is the point of the exercise. It's not to focus on the drawing, but to focus on the values. So I'm like that I'm confused here because I'm being challenged exactly in the area where this exercise is supposed to, teach me. And that's, I guess, the mindset that needs to be adopted by a lot of art students, is that when you are challenged, that's a good thing, because that means you've got to think and grow and get better. If you don't challenge yourself, then what are you doing, right? I mean, you're not going to grow as an artist. You're not going to get better. You're just going to stay exactly where you're at. And that's no fun. Why would you want to do that? Go ahead and... Ah, man, look at that. Just a clumsy stroke. Let's see if I can fix it with my finger. Oh, wow, that actually worked out. I did not expect that. Again, look at this. I lost a gap. How do I get that gap back? Let's see. Let me pull out some white and just see if I can indicate it. Just coming from the neck, coming out like so, right? Boom. Okay. And not the greatest shape, right? But now, ah, man, look at that. Fix one area, you lose another area. You lose an area, and you just try to fix it, and then it becomes worse. Like, welcome to painting. Again, let's give it another shot. Go ahead and follow this shape like so. Yeah. Welcome to painting, guys. Welcome to painting. If it doesn't drive you insane, then you're not painting. I think that's why, like, you hear about all these artists that cut off their ears, and was it Van Gogh, I think, cut off his ears. I don't know what was going on in his life, but I don't imagine oil painting helped with his sanity, Let's see. So I want to go really light, actually. Like really light in the background. Just so that I can create that separation here. See, I'm trying to fix this mistake over and over and over, and still clumsy. Okay, that's better. And then let's go like so. Boom, better. Nice, there we go. There we go. Add some more white. And just try to carve out a nice shape for the shoulders. Okay, and then there's a pretty strong highlight on her shoulder, her right shoulder. I think it's being covered up a little bit by the tattoo. I'm gonna indicate that. While I have that on my brush, I'll go ahead and indicate some other highlights. Go ahead and indicate the highlight here. Again, I'm not looking for that specific shape. I don't have time to get that specific shape. I just want to generally indicate highlights. Highlight there. Highlight there. What else? I think I got most of them. I'll maybe get this value to be a little lighter. Right, and then yeah, it's good enough for me, to be honest. I captured what I wanted. It's not the greatest painting of all time, but let's see. I think actually the lips are way too dark. I mean, areas of it are good. I think the bottom lip especially could go lighter. Not that light. Maybe that's the light of the highlight. Yeah, too light. Just add a little darkness here. The corners. It's a lot better. Maybe a little dark here. Just underneath the lip where the chin is. So here, here. Connect it with this shape here. Try to connect as many shapes as I can. Go ahead and do the indication of the cheek, like so. Go ahead and re-establish this shadow over here. I feel like I kind of lost it. I do remember making it lighter, but I feel like when I did that, I kind of lost it. So then we've got here also as this transitions. And then I'll go ahead and add the background, and that should be it for this painting. How much did that take? About half an hour. Good. It's a good time. It's a good time. Hopefully, you know, unless something gets fudged now as I add the background. Right. Painting is so, I say that kind of fudged the chin there, but it'll have to do. It'll have to do. And then as I get closer, I'm going to use a brush that can give me a little more exactness. Ooh, ooh. I'm gonna have to reestablish that. Mess that area up. Got too careless. So let me make sure that I don't get careless there. It's crazy to me that people use oil painting to get these fine detailed paintings, like the level of patience that you need. I mean, sometimes I do this and I wonder to myself, why am I even doing this? Like, this is way too hard. Why am I trying to kill myself? Why am I, you know, putting myself through so much trouble? And I just love it, man. You know, it's the moment when you know, the less I care about how good or bad my painting is, And the more I care about just painting and getting into that flow and letting the result be what it may, actually that helps me go into flow a lot faster, because you're not interrupted by these thoughts that are like, oh, I can't do this, oh, I suck, oh, so on and so forth, right? And that flow is what's so addictive. Hey, this is too dark. Let me see if I can just use it as a guide and then scrub it a little bit around. Use that to help with the indication. And then go ahead and lighten that value over there. Right here, kind of lighter. And then I'll pull the lip all the way to the edge as well. It kind of ends up there. And then pull it there. Smush some of that paint around. And then last is gonna be this area just under the nose. And yeah, I'm good with this. I'm good with this painting. Yeah. Yep, on to the next one.